Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Gaming in Circles podcast, episode 2. As you're seeing right now, it's the solo one. We're still figuring things out with timing, trying to get a consistent workflow going with the podcast and the content. But right now, for this one, it's going to be me. I don't know, it might be me by myself often. It just depends on how much I want to talk about the topics that are going to go about and what the availability is for everything. But yeah, this is episode 2. I'm still working things out. I'm trying to do the website, the social media, the podcast, everything by myself. And so, so as I'm figuring things out, another thing with all these events coming up, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, I'm going to try to start filming reaction videos, because I know that's a fun thing to look at. I watch them often. I actually watch them plenty of times. When another round of E3 or announcement comes up, I like to look at past years and see how they reacted to certain announcements. And I want to do the same thing to myself. So that'll be another thing to look forward to. I'm looking forward to myself. I never did a reaction video. So, yeah. Okay, so I got a couple topics. I'm looking at a couple topics I want to get to. But before that, I want to start off with what I've been playing. And the first one is going to be Minecraft Dungeons. Y'all don't know yet, but I'm practicing writing reviews. I'm not going to write reviews that often, but I would like to get the skill. So I'm writing a review of Minecraft Dungeons. And that's going to be on the website soon, gamingincircles.com. But I will do more reviews like this while I talk about it on camera, so y'all can hear my opinions about them. So yeah, Minecraft Dungeons. So played this game on Game Pass. I completed it, and overall impressions, it's a great game, but I don't know what audience is trying to hit. But what I mean by that is that they're trying to roll people in, Minecraft universe, the creepers and everything surrounding that universe. It attracts people who like Minecraft and the younger gamer. But at the same time, there's decisions that make it seem like it's trying to, attract like an older gamer, a seasoned ARPG player who likes those type of games. And if you don't know what Minecraft Dungeons is, it's basically Diablo. If you've seen Diablo 3, in my opinion, Diablo 3 was sort of like the coming out party for ARPG games on consoles. And for players who strictly play on consoles, that might be one of the first ones they played. So Minecraft Dungeons is a game that's very similar to it, but in many cases it's like I wouldn't say dumbed down. It's more of a simpler game. It's more of a simpler type of game in that same genre. So I'm gonna go over some of my positives, some of my negatives, and starting with the first positive is the game is fun to play. Straight up, I enjoyed the levels. I enjoyed going through it, exploring. I will talk about a difficulty spike near the end of the game, but overall, I enjoyed it. I wanted to keep coming back to it. There's an offline mode, online mode, single player. There's 4-player local co-op, 4-player online co-op. To the best of my knowledge, I played this game by myself the whole time, and I still enjoyed it. So, but the first individual positive I want to get to is honestly the enemy variety. myself, I'm not a Minecraft player. I dabbled into the original Minecraft game, like a couple minutes here or there. I played with a couple friends for like an hour, and all I knew was creepers. That's it. Creepers come in, they destroy your house, they destroy your buildings and stuff. I just wanted to build buildings, and they kept on destroying them. And I was like, no, I want to play on the mode without the creepers. But anyway, you get into Minecraft dungeons, and there's enemies, new types of enemies. They play all different ways, and I enjoyed it. And frankly, I never got bored of the enemy types. Every new level introduced a new enemy, and I was thoroughly surprised because, like I said, I thought it was just going to be creepers and skeletons, and every level through a new enemy. I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I gotta play differently now. New level, what enemy is it? How am I gonna play differently? How is this enemy going to attack me, going to approach me? And that's honestly my biggest positive coming out of playing this game. And that's honestly a good thing for this type of game. ARPGs, if it would have been the same, 2 or 3 enemies, I think I would have stopped playing this game, because it gets tired, just pressing the same button, seeing the same enemies. And another thing I liked was the environments, how good it looked. I never would have thought like a low res game like Minecraft would look so high res as it is. And I'm playing on the original Xbox One, and it looked good. I barely had any, technical issues. The game never crashed on me, and I enjoyed exploring. Each level had tons of secrets, hidden chests, and the exploration was one thing that expanded my playtime. Because at first coming in, I thought I was just gonna, just try to mainline it, be through the entire level. And then once I found out there was the secrets, I was exploring every inch, every level, trying to find everything. And I didn't find everything, but that's fine. I enjoyed my time exploring. And some places, were difficult to get to. I will admit that. And that's part of the reason why I didn't get everything. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed my time in exploring across every level, finding, secret dungeons, and getting those chests, getting better loot. And that's what the exploration is all about. So, one negative I want to give about Minecraft Dungeons, it's more to do with the enchantment system. And before I can explain that negative, I have to explain, the weapons, the loot. So, as I'm pretty sure other types of games like Diablo, you earn your loot when you kill enemies and you find treasure chests throughout the map. Excuse me. But you can also, in your home base, between every level, you can buy a new weapon, new relic, which is like the magic abilities and stuff, new armor. But the way you acquire when you buy it is it's sort of like a negative takeaway. You just can't walk up to the shop and say, I want a sword, I want a ranged weapon, I need a new piece of armor. It's like they put all these things in one randomized selection, and you have to buy it, and you get a piece at random. So you might be wanting, to get a sword, and it's like you get a piece of armor. You'd be like, all right, okay, it's randomized, I understand. But then you buy again, you get another piece of armor, you get another piece of armor, and you get another piece of armor, and then you get a bow, and then you're out of money, you're out of gems, the in-game currency you earn. There's no microtransactions. But it can get sort of frustrating, and the weapons and the equipment, they go by your level, like most games do. In the shop, the higher you level up, the more gems it costs to buy an item. and that can be frustrating when you're just trying to get a particular, not even like a particular piece of equipment, you're just trying to get at least something of that equipment. You're at least trying to get a sword, you're at least trying to get a piece of armor, and it's not giving it to you. And you know, that's one of the negatives, but you can earn a lot of stuff in every dungeon. You know, they have the secrets, they have the treasure chests. There's some items that increase the loot drops, so you can always earn weapons that way. But trying to buy stuff, it can be a little bit frustrating in that regard. And expanding on top of that, every weapon plus armor and range weapons, so melee weapon, range weapon, armor, there's 3 upgrades, and this is where the enchantment points come in. So every time you level up, you get an enchantment point, and you can use that enchantment point on weapons and armor. So for the first time you level up armor or weapons, it uses 1 enchantment point. You know, second time it uses 2 enchantment points. Third time, 3 enchantment points. So I like leveling things up. When I first started getting enchant points, I was, you know, leveling it up. And you know, since it's the type of game you're constantly earning weapons, you're constantly earning new gear, new relics and stuff. But the main problem is that the unequipping of the enchantments. So you don't really unequip enchantments. You know, if you level weapon and you put enchantments on it, but you want to take the enchantments off and put it on another weapon, you're destroying that weapon. You're salvaging that weapon. And that leads to a lot of not wanting to explore that weapon, not wanting to experiment with weapons, with combinations of certain weapons and certain armors, because you know, I wanted to test weapons. I wanted to test combinations of armors and weapons and range weapons, you know, bow and arrows. But I wanted to test them with the power that the enchantments gave that gear. And you can't really do that, because once you equip something and you'll be like, nah, I don't want it, but maybe I'll want it later. The game is like, no, you're getting rid of this stuff. You know, you want these enchantments back, you got to get rid of it. And that was the biggest downer for me. I would say that was the biggest negative for me out of playing this game. So keep that in mind. You know, if you love a weapon, you got to hold on to it. But you know, you earn new weapons, you earn better weapons as you level up. But the new weapons that you earn might not exactly fit your playstyle. So if you're wanting to hold on to enchantments just to hold on to certain weapons, you're going to have to replay a whole bunch of levels, like time and time and over again, just to level up more, just so you can get extra enchantments to put on new pieces of gear, you know, new weapons, new armor. You know, the relics, which is the, you know, the abilities, you know, stuff that can shield you, stuff that can heal you. You know, you can summon a wolf, you can summon a llama, things of that nature. They don't take any enchantments, so you're not really worried about that. And I love the thing about the gear I like, you can change gear mid-dungeon. It's not like you're going into a dungeon and you're stuck with the particular gear that you're equipped on. You can at least change it. But say you're at a dungeon which is at the recommended level 10, and you know, you brought your stuff in there fully enchanted, but you want to change it. You know, do you make that choice? Do you be like, during the middle of this dungeon, alright, I'm going to salvage everything, I'm going to equip everything, or are you going to change it to a lower level and make it quote unquote harder for you to fight and to complete that dungeon? So yeah, besides that negative, overall, in the overall sense, I like the game. I thought it was enjoyable. and the game is on Game Pass, so I would recommend playing it through. Oh, one last thing is another. I don't want to seem like I'm dogging on the game because I enjoyed it. The other thing, be wary. There's a difficulty spike near the end of the game. I think I mentioned it in the beginning, but it seems like for the difficulty, you're on like a line like this, right? And for experienced, seasoned players of this genre, you might think it's easy. I thought it was easy, honestly. I was just slashing my way, killing, enemies through the dungeons. And you get to about the last 3 levels, and the difficulty spike goes from here, and it goes all the way up. And that was the most frustrating thing about the gameplay, mainly because I expect it to be harder. I expect there to be difficulty spikes, but not at the level it was when it just randomly increased like that. They just throw enemies at you, and on top of that, they throw projectile-based enemies at you. And before I hit those levels, there wasn't no need of a shield. There wasn't no need of like a block command, block button or anything. But getting to those levels, it was frustrating that you didn't have those functions, you didn't have those abilities. And the only reason I say that is because when all those enemies mob at you at once, you're basically using all your relics at once. And after that, you're basically, in my experience, I was running in circles, waiting for the cooldowns to stop, waiting for everything to cool down. And no one wants an experience where you're constantly running in circles. So yeah, that was the biggest frustrating thing about the game in terms of the gameplay itself. And that was the reason why I brought up at the top why I think it's confused in terms of what audience it wants to go toward. Because the story is simple, but on the gameplay side, they make decisions like, is that suitable for people who are just jumping in that are fans, that are the younger gamers that are just fans of the Minecraft universe? So yeah, but overall, really good game, great game. You got Game Pass, check it out, play it, complete it. There's replayability in it. After you beat the story, you can play on it on a harder difficulty. You get better rewards, better loot. So yeah. So another game, the next game I'm talking about is another game I played on Game Pass. And this game is Golf with Your Friends. Now, this is a mini golf game. It's meant to be played with your friends, hence the title, Golf with Your Friends. But I played it solo, and so I want to give my thoughts as a solo player to this game. And now, I'm more negative about this game than I am positive. I did have fun with it, so I don't want to make it seem like it was all bad. But before I get into the negatives, I just want to say that if you have a group of friends, in my experience, just playing as a solo player, I think it'd be a very fun game to play. You have a game night, you invite your friends over, you have pizza, you have some drinks, and you take turns playing it. I think it'll be an enjoyable game in that matter, in that nature of aspect. But as a solo player, let me break it down to you. So, okay, you boot up the game, right? And you would be, it's mini golf, you're not really expected to do a tutorial, but I think the way it is that the first option is online play. So like other people probably did, like I did, I went straight into online, not doing a single tutorial or anything, and then the person I was going against straight up wrecked me. And so I was frustrated. I didn't know how to play at all. It doesn't really tell you anything, and the first option is online. So my first impressions right off the bat, super negative. And it took me a while overall to get more of a positive feeling about the game, you know, and so I quit out of that, halfway through it. I was like, I can't do it no more. So went from online to an offline match by myself, because you know what? I was like, let me figure out everything by myself in a match by myself. And this is the biggest detriment, is the default rule set for everything. So, when you play a mini golf game, so my background, I like casual games, when it comes to video games like billiards, Uno, the board games and stuff like that. I just like chilling, laying down in my bed, just playing them, They're nice, they're relaxing, they're fun, they don't take too much concentration. When I'm a little bit tired, I play them too, before I take a nap or anything. They're fun, they're relaxing. So the default rule set is basically I wouldn't say it's the opposite, but it makes you feel like you're playing a rush game of mini golf. But what I mean by that is, like, they put a lot of timers and stopgaps on almost everything. They put a timer on, how long it takes before you quit. They put a timer on the overhead camera. You only got 15 seconds, but that 15 seconds really isn't enough when the overhead cam is a little wonky in terms of controls. You only get a certain amount of, putts or hits, and while the pars on every course is sort of low, it's like 2 or 3, the way the courses are designed, and the power system with hitting the ball design, which I'll get into later, it makes it difficult to actually hit those par numbers, hit those birdie numbers, or at least like a bogey or double bogey. Because, I wouldn't say I'm the best at mini golf or golf, but, at least hitting a bogey or double bogey is fine in my book. But I'm over there hitting +9, +7. Like, come on, like, it shouldn't. The way that default rule set is, I feel like it kills the enjoyment of someone who's just trying to have like a fun, relaxing game of mini golf, especially if they're by themselves. Like, especially if it's a solo game, like, why have those rules? Why have that default rule set? But on the positive side, I think it's more of a great positive is the custom rule set, in which, in my opinion, I felt like should have been that default. You go in, you do like a quick tutorial, and they make you do a custom rule set, because I think that's where the game shines. You can take all the timers off, you can take everything off. There's customization options, like there's so many, and it makes the gameplay so much enjoyable, so much bearable in comparison to that default rule set. So that would be my recommendation going into this game. If you wanna learn everything about this game, just go make a custom rule set, change everything so there's no time limits, there's no stopgap limits. Just enjoy the game at your own pace, and that actually made it have more of a positive for me overall. And and another positive, I like in the concept of course design, because in mini golf, when you're playing mini golf in real life, they can't go that crazy with the courses. But I like that idea of going crazy with the courses, and I think it shines in that respect with the course design. But on the other hand, is the power system with hitting the ball, and I think that is what detriments the course design, because with the power of hitting the ball, it's hard to tell. The power system doesn't really let you get a good gauge of how far the ball is going to go, and that honestly hurts the course design in tandem with that. It sort of brings it down. because you get frustrated, you overhit the ball. There's loop-de-loops and stuff. There's ramps that you make it hit it go this way and go down this way. But the way the power design is, it's hard to actually complete those fun, wacky course design elements they have in every course. And it's part of the reason why I'm not getting parts. It's part of the reason why I'm getting +7s, +9s. I'm constantly hitting it out of bounds. And I felt like if that was the gameplay change they can fix, I think it would be a lot funner for a solo experience. Now, for the last positive I want to give, they do have customization items. You can, put hats on the golf balls. There's different types of ways you can customize the golf balls and stuff. And I think that is really cool. And I think this is what separates the casual games, in that respect. Being able to customize different elements so you can at least get a fresh look. When I play pure pool, I can customize the color of the felt on the table. And there's a couple of different logo designs you can put on the table, stuff like that. It really changes up the experience so you're not looking at the same thing every time you play, especially if it's a casual game and you're knowing you're going to constantly play. It's nice to get that customization option. And they do have, on a side note, they do have other game modes like hockey and stuff, and then basketball, which I'm not a big fan of. I think it's hard to actually play that game mode. You're using the golf ball and actually trying to make it bounce in the hoop, and I think the power system doesn't work well with that. I do think the hockey minigame, the hockey game mode, I think that should be featured more, and is honestly a good mode for the power system, the current power system that's in the game. You're going through the regular mini golf courses, and instead of trying to make it in the hole, they got a hockey net up, and they got the players going side to side, that mechanical thing. So you can just hit the puck through the course and try to hit it in the goal. You can hit it powerful. Sometimes you hit it out of bounds, but that's okay. You're going crazy with the power, and that's honestly okay. But it's fun doing that hockey game mode, and I think that should be more featured. That, and then the custom rule set in the golf. Those are two great game modes within this game. And so those are my thoughts about golf with your friends. I played it on Game Pass. Honestly, like I said in the beginning, play with some friends, have a little party about it. If you're solo, follow my recommendations, make a custom rule set, play at your own pace. Don't play at that default rule set. You'll feel very rushed. You won't have, in my opinion, I feel like you won't have a very good time with it, and you'll be better off with that positive experience playing with that custom rule set. So yeah, those are the two games I sort of wanted to, give you my thoughts on. So one last game I've been playing, I bought it as part of that Days of Play sale. It's Civilization 6 on PS4. And honestly, I'm gonna straight up say it, I suck at this game. I played one full quick game, with all computers. And, back in the day, I played Civ 5 with my brother. I played Civilization Revolution on PS4. I used to play games like Advanced Wars all the time with my brother. And, playing Civ 5 and going to Civ 6 after all these years, I thought, I was in good hands, because when you start up the game for the first time, there's a thing that pops up, be like, I'm new to Civilization. I'm new to Civilization 6, but I played, a past one. Or it's like, oh, I played this before, I don't need no tutorial. So knowing me, I'm just new to Civ 6. So, but I go in, and I'm getting wrecked by computers and stuff, but I'm still having a fun time. And the games take a while. They're like 500 turns, and I sped it up. I changed the options to speed it up, and because my playstyle, I like hoarding a lot of stuff and like doing the science, building up the science tree. But even though the leader I had wasn't based towards science, so I got wrecked. I wasn't even like second or third place. I was like dead last, but I'm still having fun with it. I'm about to put on that that full Civ tutorial. So yeah, I'll probably talk about it in the next one about if I'm actually winning or not. So yeah, that's Civ 6. It was like $40 on the days of play sale on PSN. So yeah, if you like Civ, you like that strategy, check it out. Yeah. So all right, moving on. Couple of news topics. I don't like getting into all the news, just a couple big ones. And the big news I want to get into is all these game events getting delayed and getting new dates. Now, I didn't write all the original dates for these events that got delayed. I wrote down, the new dates, and I want to give a prediction on where I think the PS5 game slate reveal event will take place. But let's get into the all the events, all their new dates. So starting off, you got the Destiny 2 new content event, June 9th. I don't play Destiny like that, but I'm still gonna look at it. I'm still gonna watch the event. I'm always excited to watch these events to see what's new, see what's popping in these games. So yeah, Future Game Show, June 13th. I'm gonna watch that also. New potential for next gen games, so there's always gonna be a little hype for that. But you never know; could always be current gen games also. But I'm still looking forward to it. See what's gonna come out of that. You got the Gorilla Indie Collective. Kind of funny is hosting that in tandem with someone else. I forgot, but that's ranging from June 13th through June 15th. I'm honestly probably gonna check in and out of this one. I like some indie games, but when I read the description, they're gonna have more than indie games, but it wasn't really the type of games I really play. I'll still check it out in and out, but probably not the whole thing. And it's going for a couple days, so we'll see what happens out of that. But going next, Upload VR, June 16th. I don't have a VR headset anymore. I'm still interested in seeing what they have. It's always nice to see the innovation in virtual reality games. They'll most likely have games for all the virtual reality platforms, PlayStation VR, Oculus Quest, the other ones, I'm forgetting the names, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. EA Play, they moved it, now it's June 18th. I got a predictions video up, on the YouTube. Check that out. I make 5 predictions. Yeah, still hoping for NBA Live 21, sort of like a version of like an NBA Street. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for that one. I think they're also going to show a new Star Wars game that leaked, Project Maverick, that was leaked on PSN. But we'll see. That's so far, that's the one I'm hyped for the most out of everything. Besides the PS5 event. EA Play is next. Going after that is Day of Devs. It's more indie focus. June 22nd. I'm going to check it out. I don't know what game, if they said what games are going to be there, but I'll check it out. See what's popping. You got New Game Plus on June 23rd. I believe this is it's more of the big name Japan publishers or RPG publishers. I'm excited to see that. I forgot what game. I've read somewhere that there was going to be what games was going to actually be on it. I saw Atlas was on it, so I'm really hoping there's that Persona 5 Scramble release date for the West. I'm excited to get my hands on that game. Excited to play it. Didn't play Persona 5 Royal. The game's gonna be too long. Already played Persona 5, vanilla version. Where's that Scramble? Give me that release date. But moving on, you got the Avengers War table on June 24th. I'm sort of iffy on this game. Part of me wants to get my hands on it, play it. On the other hand, I'm skeptical because some of the UI design and the elements and stuff reminds me of like a mobile game, and I just want to see that diversity in the action for individual characters. I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and this is sort of giving me like big budget vibes of Ultimate Alliance 3, and I don't want that. I don't want just like a random beat 'em up. Well, I don't want to say random, but I don't want that beat 'em up. Basically, I want that story. I want that that character narrative, stuff like that. I know it's gonna be like games as a service, but I don't think it's gonna be straight up like Destiny. I think they're gonna put a little twist on it that we haven't really seen yet, and that's what I'm trying to see. So hopefully, it's probably gonna be a trailer. It's part of the Summer Games Fest by Jeff Keighley. So I have a feeling they're gonna do like an interview after like a trailer, and we'll see what changes or what they're bringing to the table. After that, I forgot what the actual name was, but the Cyberpunk event on June 25th. I don't know if I'm gonna get this game at launch. I'm excited to play it, but it's gonna be so close, technically close. I wouldn't say so close, but it's close to next gen. I'm afraid to get it and not finish it before PS5 and Series X comes out. So I'm probably gonna wait, and get it after I get PS5 and then play it. But I'm so excited to see what's gonna come out of this. It's probably gonna be a trailer or a long gameplay chunk. The game's big as it is, they can show another huge gameplay section of the game and get some thoughts over it, and I'll be happy to watch it, especially since I'm not playing it at launch. I'll probably forget all the game. I already forgot the last couple gameplay chunks they went through, so yeah. I'm ready to watch that. And the last one is the Bit Summon Gaiden on June 27th, and that's more of indie games from Japan, studios, game developers in Japan. I'm excited to see, what comes out of this. Something different than the typical indie game you see out of American indie game devs. So yeah, so that was all the events with the new dates. Looking at all these dates, and then seeing how the PS5 event got delayed because of the protests and stuff, I think it was a smart move. Those protesters, those voices need to get heard, and I think it's really important what's going down right now, especially in America. So nothing's bigger than what's in the video game space. Nothing is bigger in the video game space than what's going down right now. But in terms of the PS5 event, it was supposed to be June 4th, Thursday, June 4th. They delayed it. I have a prediction. I think it's gonna go June 17th. That's the day before the new EA Play date. And I think that because if you look before everything got reshuffled, well, actually, no, never mind. But still, the original PS5 date was supposed to go before EA Play, and I think it's gonna be the same this time, with PlayStation going a day before EA Play, because I think, well, first PlayStation wants to reveal more about the PlayStation before EA does. EA reveals games for it, and I think there's gonna be some type of marketing deal. You know, we looked. If you take another look at that May Inside Xbox, the first one they did, you know, where people were disappointed about actual gameplay, fake gameplay, stuff like that. They had the marketing deal with Madden. And what's interesting is that in normal Microsoft press conferences, they're always talking about FIFA, and they didn't do it this year. So I think it's going to be, I got a prediction that PlayStation is going to get the marketing rights to FIFA. And I think that's going to actually show up at the PlayStation event, and it's going to be followed up at the EA event, and that's part of the reason why I think PlayStation wants to go before EA Play. I think PlayStation could also be showing that leaked Project Maverick game. It was leaked on PSN, and I know that's no indicator of whether, you know, PlayStation has marketing rights to it, but I think it'll be a cross-gen game with a focus on the graphical side, on the focus on next-gen, you know, PS5, Xbox Series X. But I think PlayStation will want to have the marketing rights to that game. You know, especially with all the success of Jedi Fallen Order. I think, especially having a Star Wars game especially if it's at launch, I think they're gonna want to grab that marketing hype, that marketing machine, that marketing lifestyle. You know, a new console, new Star Wars game that's like a major hit, major success, especially if the game is great. So yeah, that's what my thoughts on that PlayStation event. Any other predictions for the PlayStation event? You know, I saw that rumor, Demon Souls remake that's been floating around for a while. There was that other rumor of that Bloodborne, like PS5, PC. A lot of people were asking for that. Me, I'm not a fan. I don't really play the Soulsborne games like that. I think this is more of a tactical move, right? So if you look at it, you know, Elden Ring got announced. There's no date on it. And a majority of the hardcore gamer hype is based off the Soulsborne genre. So if they come out swinging at the PS5 event, you know, with Demon Souls remake, that's already going to get a lot of attention, right? And even if that's not at launch, they'll be like, okay, we also got Bloodborne remastered, 60 frames, 4K, you know, probably have better loading screens rather than the atrocities on the PS4 version. So it'll give, especially if it's, backwards compatible, and they just give you a free patch, or if you just have to pay a small upgrade fee, you know, it'll give players a fan of that genre something to play, you know, until probably a couple months later, until the Demon Souls remake, or even at best like a year later, when they finally get that Demon Souls remake. And I feel like they're really gonna want to get that crowd in at the launch, so that way they can be there before Elden Ring finally has their full coming out party, their full unveiling. Because a lot of people are hyped for that. You know, it's also a From Software game, and from the looks of it right now, Microsoft might have the marketing rights based on the past E3 when it was revealed. So yeah, I think PlayStation is gonna want to get that crowd before Elden Ring and Microsoft can snatch it back to their ecosystem. So okay, so Kingdoms of Amalur Remastered got officially announced. I believe it's coming out August 11th. I never played the original. I heard it was fun. Am I gonna play it? I need to actually see. Funny enough, never seen gameplay, never seen a trailer. So what I'll do, I'll update next week after I watched up about it, watched gameplay of the PS3, Xbox 360 version a little bit, see if they actually drop a trailer between now and then to see, how I'm feeling about the game. It was sort of in that cult classic range, sort of, but not really. So this one is sort of weird for me in a sense. It's like, why put out this game now? Are they trying to make a sequel, or are they just going the remaster route? Because I felt like it. Okay, so I understand because of the PS4, Xbox One user base, over 130 million combined, 140, 150 million combined. So they're gonna want to grab the audience. But honestly, like, I need to see the sales numbers of the original. How many people actually played that game, and are they gonna be interested in playing the game for the first time, like myself potentially, or even replaying the game? Especially if they put it out at a $60 price point. We've seen with a lot of just remasters, not the remake from the ground up, that they get a little bit of flack. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so I just want to see. I'm interested to see how this game does. Because, it was sort of troubled, especially with that state of Rhode Island, being part of it, and the baseball player, owning, I guess, like the development studio. And so, yeah, like, want to see how that does. And for the final thing I want to talk about is The Last of Us 2. Now, in episode 1, I talked about how I wasn't really excited, for Last of Us 2, because, the energy felt off. The game got spoiled. I got a major spoiler, but a decent amount of people got spoiled the game. When people get spoiled, for me, I sort of, my excitement level goes down when other people get spoiled, because not everyone can experience and get those surprises in. Because I'm a man, I like having the surprises. Some people, they don't mind reading the spoilers and still playing the game. I'm not like that. I want to be surprised, along the way. But recently, previews have been coming out, and I'm starting to feel more excitement coming on. I'm starting to get that idea of, like, I don't really want to play anything. I'm sort of waiting on Last of Us 2, and I know it's probably a little over a week and a half, almost 2 weeks out, but I'm starting to feel my excitement levels rise, and I'm getting ready to play the game. That in Ghost of Tsushima. But I'm still more hyped for Ghost of Tsushima, but I'm starting to get more hyped to play Last of Us, especially hearing all the positive reception about it. Will it answer my questions that I had in the previous episode? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see at launch. So, yeah. Last of Us 2. Can't wait now. So, yeah, that's it. Episode 2. Still trying to figure things out. But keep along for the ride. Keep along for the journey, I got an idea how I sort of want this podcast to go in. I don't want to give it away, but it's sort of a niche in the gaming industry that I think it hasn't been covered yet. We see a lot of podcasts, they go general or they go specific platform like PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or game developer side. But I think I have an idea. We'll see how it goes. Remember to subscribe. Check out gamingincircles.com. I write opinion pieces and stuff. Sometimes there's written reviews. And check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I post clips of this podcast on Instagram as IGTV videos and as separate YouTube clips. So check us out on IGTV also. Check us out at YouTube also. Remember to subscribe again at Gaming in Circles. And that's it. See you on the next time.